Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing great, staying sane, safe, healthy, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. I asked a few weeks ago for you guys to send me some questions, just to do like an AMA or an Ask Me Anything Q&A kind of thing. And man, did you guys ever respond? I greatly appreciate you guys sending me questions, and we're gonna answer those questions today, and maybe clear up some stuff for you guys that you've had questions about. I asked you guys to send me any questions that you have regarding limb loss and depression, anxiety, PTSD, um, panic attacks, anything like that, and I'll answer it to the best of my knowledge. The what I know personally, and you guys did. You guys sent me a lot of great questions, and we're gonna answer them today, and yeah, we're gonna dive right in here in just a few minutes. And I want to give a huge shout out. You may notice that my audio sounds way better. Well, I had one of my subscribers reach out to me who've been watching my channel since pretty much the inception, and have been noticing that my audio quality wasn't really that great, and they wanted to help me out. They wanted to send me something and try to help boost that just a little bit. So I was super stoked the other day to receive these little guys in the mail from said subscriber. I mean, I can't thank you enough for everything. This is huge. And I know that my subscribers thank you, and it's going to do nothing but help the channel and progress this a little bit further and help me spread a little bit better word to people out there, and just get a good positive message out to people. So when I said I'd put them to good use, I promised you I'm going to put them to good use. So having said that, you know who you are. Thank you, my friend. I greatly appreciate it. This means the world to me. I'm still trying to learn how to use them. I'm getting it down, but it's a little bit of a learning curve, just like everything else. So, having said that, thank you so much for these. I greatly appreciate it. There's a 2-pack of them, so I have 2 of them, so they're stereo mics. But again, you know who you are. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, you will go down in MOL history. I'll say that. So, having said that, thank you very much. Thank you for this. From the bottom of my heart, we really appreciate it. And yeah, we're gonna dive right into the questions. So, without further ado, here we go. Billy Raccoon asked, have you done TMS treatments? I'm assuming that you're talking about transcranial magnetic stimulation, and what that is to answer your question, no, I have not. I've heard about it, and with depression and stuff like that, with me personally, in my case, they didn't really see it as like a necessary thing or anything that I would really benefit from. So it has been discussed, but we didn't really get too far into it as far as, like looking into actual treatment and that kind of thing, and, learning a lot more about it. We definitely, like I said, it's more of a holistic thing. It's kind of considered a holistic kind of medicine, and it's definitely been, very successful with a lot of people, that's for sure. It does work. It's not just witch doctor or whatever, some kind of weird voodoo. It's not that. It does actually work, and it does actually serve a purpose for people, and it's very useful. But for me personally, like I said, they didn't really see it necessary. I'm going to put more information. There's also going to be a link below for anybody interested in something like that. Just more information on it, that kind of thing. But here's some information on it right now that you guys can kind of get a little bit better understanding and idea of the process of it. And what it actually is they put a Tesla coil, more or less, kind of on the front of your head. I mean, it sounds more like, I don't know, more Dr. Frankenstein than it really is. It's not a huge, like, undergoing, or it's not a big thing really. But yeah, it apparently, what it does is it wakes up all the nerves in the brain. When you're depressed, it kind of puts a lot of your nerve endings, not nerve endings, but your synapses and shit in your head. It kind of puts a lot of those thoughts and stuff to sleep, and it kind of puts you in kind of more of a sleep mode, more just kind of, that's where the shut down, sad, just kind of looking at the floor, you know, just kind of, you don't really know what to do. You're just kind of bored looking, and nothing makes sense, and nothing, see, there's no ending in sight, you know. Well, that's because all the neurons in your brain have started to shut down and just kind of went into kind of hibernation mode. Well, this kind of wakes all that back up, excuse me, and brings yourself back to that original state of, I feel so much better now. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really necessarily forget that it was there, but you do kind of, you kind of get to skate away from it a little bit and kind of not necessarily think about what brought you to that point as much. So I hope I'm making sense with that. But to answer your question, no, I personally have never done it. Again, I know, you know, I've read a lot about it, you know, and had people actually talk to me about it before, but we didn't really see it fit to do anything with it at the time, or it seemed beneficial to me. So again, there's going to be a link in the description below, and it'll tell you a lot more information about that kind of stuff. And yeah, so anyone that thinks that it may be helpful to them, there's resources to reach out, or you can ask your own personal care provider, and maybe they can, you know, shoot you in the right direction of something like that. So that's a great question. Thank you very much. I'm glad you submitted it, and I hope that was helpful. I hope that kind of answered your question best I could. And yeah, so moving on. Miss Jen with No Filter asked, how do you remain so positive? And is there any words of advice to remain positive? Well, what you guys see on camera and what you guys don't see is two different things. I have my spells where I'm angry. I'm very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? I just can't find a positive in that day. I can't find anything that I can grab onto, some semblance to make things make sense to me. I don't really necessarily, I try not to hold on to things, but sometimes I do. Like if something really, really irritates me or makes me angry or something like that, what I tend to do is hold on to that, and it basically turns into like a resentment or something like that, which isn't healthy for anybody. And when that time comes, when I do that, I kind of just stop and take stock of what's around me, what I do have in life, and understand that this problem that lies in front of me right now will go away. It's not always going to remain like this. And the quicker that a person can realize that, and the quicker that a person can stay in that same frame of mind, I think they're going to be a lot better off and a lot happier, and understand that not every day is going to go according to plan. Not every single day is going to go exactly the way that you want it to. You know, I believe it was George Carlin, the comedian, that said, if every single day went according to plan, the way that you wanted it to go every single day of your life, you would be bored to death by the time you're 25. And I firmly believe that. We almost need bullshit to thrive, or, you know, to keep going, or to keep us, you know, sane in some semblance, you know. And I think, you know, we all deal with that, and it's not necessarily one person has it worse than the other or anything like that. You know, we all deal with anger and bad days in our own way. And yeah, that's what I do, is I tend to, once I see a bad day is coming and it's kind of not going to get any better, then what I try to do is look around me, take stock of what I do have, Don't necessarily pay attention to the things that you don't have, or the things that you didn't accomplish in life, or the things that you didn't get done that day. Look at the things that you have gotten done that day. And if you say, well, I didn't really do shit today, I sit around on the couch and just did, nothing. Well, then, maybe it just wasn't your day. Maybe it just wasn't a day to do that stuff. And tomorrow it's going to strike you a lot different, and you will get that fire underneath you, so to speak, and you will get up and be more motivated. So don't look at days of sitting around and days of, sloth, as they call it, as a bad thing, because it's not. And I tend to do that too. We all need to have a time to pause and just to kind of take a break and take a breather. And when I'm having bad days, that's kind of what I do. You guys won't see me online. You guys won't see me in chat rooms or anything like that. That's the reason why, is because every single little thing is just annoying or irritating in some way or fashion. So there you go. I'm not always 100% positive. I'm not always, I perceive that on the outside, because I don't want to come off as Debbie Downer. I don't want to come off as a person who constantly is just, oh God, here he comes, what's wrong today? That kind of thing. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to come off as that kind of person. So don't, and that's exactly the way I try to live my life, is unless it's absolutely necessary, I'm not going to burden you with what I've got going on in my personal life. So there you go. I hope that answered that question best I could for you. A friend Bubba asked, is there a life lesson that sticks with you to this day? Man, that's a bit heavy right there. I'll say that there's a lot of things in life that I've learned. Obviously, is don't take life for granted. Don't take one single day for granted. Those days that you are living life to the fullest and you are out there kicking ass and you think, wow, this is such an amazing day, I'm getting a lot accomplished today, or I'm really, really living and stuck in the moment of this vacation, or anything like that. Learn to appreciate that moment and accept that for what it is, and understand that, it's not always going to be like this. This isn't going to stay like this, but it is something that I really, really needed. And I truly and firmly believe that we are where we're supposed to be in life. Like, the person that you are has sculpted who you are and where you are in your current status in life. I mean, does that mean people have been dealt a bad hand and stuff like that? Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people who've been dealt a really bad hand. A lot of good people out there that are, struggling and stuff. Just don't take any days for granted. Learn to appreciate that 24 hours that you have each and every day, and understand that tomorrow may not come, tomorrow may not be here. Nobody's ever promised tomorrow. Nobody's ever promised, a future of any kind. It's a construct that we build in our head, and that's something that, not a lot of people understand, especially our younger generation. They don't quite get that. They think, I'm immortal, I'm going to live forever, just like we did when we were that age, so they're going to constantly stay in that cycle of, everything is fine, I'm good, I'm going to be stuck here, this is going to be my life forever, and all that, well, reality is going to hit them one day, and when it does, it's going to really bite you in the ass. And that moment that they're in right now, or those beautiful moments, a child being born, a wedding, anything like that, somebody coming home from war, somebody being told they don't have cancer anymore, life will go back to normal somewhat. Learn to accept and celebrate that little moment that you have. And if you need to constantly remember that time or something like that, then do that. That's perfectly okay to do. I always say, don't look back. Don't look back on the hard times. Don't worry about those. There's nothing you can do about those. There's nothing you can do to change that, and nor is there anything that you can do to rectify what happened then. So don't worry about that. That's over and done. That was just a chapter of your life, whether it was good or bad. It's just a chapter of your life that's already turned. Those pages have turned, like the song, turn the page. Turn that page, move on to a new thing. And that's one of the main things I've learned in life is do not ever take one single second, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day for granted. Never do that. Use your time wisely while you're here, and be thankful for the time that you do have with the people that you have, and learn that they're not always going to be there, and when that time comes, you'll be a lot more grateful for the time you did spend with them, because you were here when they were. And you won't have to wonder what if. You won't have to look back. You won't have to, none of that, because you did it. You actually lived in that moment. You succeeded, so to speak. Does that mean monetary, where you made billions of dollars and all that shit? No. If it did, hey, right on. But that's not always what it's about. Sometimes it's having those people, those people that are always going to be with you, around you, and there to lift you up when it truly matters. And that, again, is where I try to be for you guys. I try to help as much as I can. Whether you want my help or not, that's up to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a guru. I'm not anything like that. I'm not somebody that's gonna make all your problems just go away magically, but I'll help out any way I can. I'm just that person. And helping others has also helped me with that. Like, helping other people has helped me, so to speak. And I know that sounds strange, but it really has. Like, it's taken my mind off some really, really dark times by helping other people deal with theirs. And that's something that I'll always take away from life, and something I'll be super grateful for, knowing that I had a chance to help other people. And it's such a great feeling. It really is. And yeah, that's one of the biggest life lessons I've ever had is don't ever worry about money as much as time. Time is way more important than money. And that's one thing you need to always focus on. Everybody out there, understand that the biggest difference between time and money is that when you run out of money, you can always go get more. Time don't work like that. When that that sand is falling through the hourglass, it doesn't go up, it just goes down. Gravity works one way. And just accept that, and know that that's this short time, this short trip that I have, I'm going to make it count. And just focus on that. Focus on positivity. Focus on the positive things. Yeah, I don't have this, but I have this, and that's not as bad, That's another thing, just stick with it like that. That's about my best advice I can give for something like that. That's one of the best life lessons I've ever learned. Creative Noise asked, my man Johnny Cashbill asked, when we getting lunch? when we getting lunch? Whenever you want, my brother. I'm down. You got my number. You got my. You know where we live. We live in the same town. So hit me up, and I'm down whenever you want, my friend.
Yep.
Indica or sativa? Indica, when I don't really smoke anymore, but indica for me, whenever I did smoke, was more of a kind of a upper, so to speak, where you're kind of, chipper and happy, concert weed, so to speak. Sativa for me was more of, it's time to go to sleep. So there you go.